it's really important that moving forward, every bit of marketing and every bit of collateral that you put out in the universe that's around real estate mentions the fact that you keywords of virtual transaction, digital remote showings, and contactless real estate transaction. You need to start embedding that in and weaving that into everything that you're doing, because half the world is relying on that for the next 18 months. And I'm reading more and more about how this is really going to stay more similar to what it is now than what we were used to. So certain elements of the transaction may never go back to face, including showings. So this is really great timing about the showing assistant. What if we trained a bunch of virtual showers? Can you imagine if you, let's just say Juan and Donna and Judy are a family that want to go buy investments with me, okay? And not everyone is together, and maybe Donna and Judy are at each other's house, but Juan, you're their brother and you live across state or in another city, who knows? And we're looking at property. I could be on with you talking about the neighborhood and the market, and I could have somebody else showing the property. Think of that. I think that's where it's headed. And there are agents that absolutely love to drive around and show property. But think about this for a second. What if one of the target properties you guys wanted to see was in Spring Hill, and then one was in Holiday, and then one was in Pinellas Park? Well, can you imagine if we had 3 different showing assistants set up to show you guys back to back those 3 properties? And while they were showing properties in between our virtual showings, I was able to break down the market and the deal. And we never got in a car together, and we didn't spend 3 to 5 hours driving around together. How cool that would be. That's the future. And I can build a tribe of showing assistants, can't I? Yep. And we could have specialists in different areas so that you guys could be better for your people. Because I don't know Pinellas Park. I know I don't want to live there, but I don't know it. And you know what? I've never actually gone to Spring Hill in my life. I just know there's a lot of
Jessica, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
I think that's a brilliant idea, but doesn't that kind of take away the individuality and the interaction that makes our client want to come back to us versus another agent who's like farming out the work to other people?
Absolutely. But just imagine us as a really big team, Michelle.
Yeah.
Here's the caveat to all of this working. And I just think this is where the consumer's going. So I think we're going to have to go with them.
Okay.
But Michelle, you and I met. You're my agent because of X. You were referred. I liked you because I met you at an open house, or I already knew you and trusted you, or you built a great relationship and you spent a lot of time with me understanding what I want and need. Now this is the logistics. So you're still my agent. You're still my negotiator. You're still my person. But this really great showing assistant that knows Pinellas Park, that's an expert about Pinellas Park, gave us the whole rundown of that neighborhood, even drove around and said, wow, this area is looking pretty distressed, or wow, this area is really improving. Look at, they just put a new mini mart in. And you know, so you'd have to have specialists of these showing assistants. They'd have to be like superstars, but the relationship is an expectation first. So you would have had to have built that bond with me, and you're going to maintain it. But that window time, gone. Or that spontaneous, I need a showing and wow, I don't want to drive to Pinellas Park right now, gone. You know, and so when you think about where the world's headed, I just want you guys to think a little differently. I want you to think this way because I'm pretty sure that's where it's going.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think it's, you know, I'm going to bring it to the corporate side. In a corporate environment, you can have a company that's nationwide, but you have regional reps in different areas specializing it. People still see you, your company, as the resource, and just these positioned people as, wow, you're thinking ahead, and look at you, you're very efficient It's the
Mhm.
way I look at it. I
It's
think
a
that's how.
convenience thing too. So in this
Yeah.
scenario, if Judy, Donna, and Juan were a family investing together, or friends, or just whatever, that's
Mhm.
called convenience. They don't want to get in their car and drive for 6 hours needlessly either, right?
Right.
Now they may want to all get together with me, their agent, one last time to see it, but we could have done all the elimination of properties and the narrowing down of the house and all of that, like the final showing, you know.
So it'd be like one big giant team.
Right. It's just like
Correct.
Jeff Borum would do it, or just like how Jody Avery would do it, or any of these big teams. But I want you
Okay.
just to think about it. If you think of this from the consumer, okay, so let's switch gears. Michelle, let's just say you need to buy a car.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay.
And you are looking at Toyota, Hyundai, BMW, Mercedes, and an Audi. And you're like you're thinking of all of them, and you've already done all your online shopping and you've kind of compared them. But Donna's at the Audi dealership way in Timbuktu. Juan is way out in, Lando Lakes with this other dealership. And Judy is at the Bradenton dealership that actually has the one car that you actually wanted the most, but they only have it in Bradenton. Wouldn't it be convenient for them to just show you the car there? And you say, you know what? I don't want that car in Bradenton. I want to go talk to Juan. I like that one better. Now you're going to one.
Right.
That would be awesome, right?
Right.
So
Sort of like an auto mall.
We got to be in the consumer's mind right now, not in ours, because we look at it as change, right? The consumer sees this as common sense. This is convenience.
Yeah, it's similar how you handle, I guess, out of town buyers. Well, I'm dealing with people in Wisconsin and
Those are
Oregon.
troublemakers. Watch out. You might want to refer them.
Yeah, I know those Wisconsin ones. I don't know, but they can't come to look at the properties. And
Right.
I have, my partner is looking at properties for one in Spring Hill and Crystal River, and I'm showing the properties on another one that's more like by Treasure Island, and they see it as one group handling it for them.
Well, just think about it, Juan. Let's just say you've got these two properties, they're an hour and a half apart, and I'm waiting at home. Okay, you showed me the first one because I have to see them virtually or digitally, right? And then I have to wait. My whole afternoon's tied up till you can drive to the other one to show me. I'm like, seriously, dude?
Yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah. Yeah.
So think about this.
Virtually, I love that idea.
So, but here's the thing is the consumer's already wanting it. We're just catching up to what the consumer wishes for. And it's requiring us to change our behavior. And so we're all like, change. No, oh my God, this all of a sudden sounds like a great idea, right? Like, oh, who else wants to show all my properties for me, right? And yet when we do the KPA, it's very interesting. I score very low for this. You would not want me as a showing assistant. But we have half of our agents score off the roof, and they love showing properties. They love getting into properties. They love sharing the features of the HOA. They love all that stuff. That's the sweet spot. But you want them to go knock on a door or cold call or go after an expired listing or even a listing, and they don't even like sellers because they have to negotiate for themselves. They're wired more for the showing side of things. So there's no harm in this. It's just letting people be in their sweet spot. And can you imagine what this could evolve to? So I just want to put that in your mind today, because the market of the moment is what the consumer wants, isn't it?
Yeah. Now, a quick question, and I'll go pick on Judy because she blew me away with her video that she made on her property. And let's say I had somebody like that wanting a property like that. There's no harm or foul to reach out to Judy and say, hey, Judy, I got somebody that's interested in your property.
You can refer it out, or you can do the deal together, depending on what the referring agent's up for. Sometimes they'll do the deal with you if it's really a tight individual, or they'll say, just refer it to me and I'll bring you along with me, whatever's appropriate.
Okay.
And keep the consumer in mind. If the consumer habla español, you're going to do the deal with Jude, right? Right? Because Judy will help, And yet, if the deal is someone that wants to live in our particular neighborhood and you don't want to drive over here for every time they get together, you might be like, can we work the deal together? And I'll just kind of tag along a little, right? And Jude can do that, right? I don't want to put you on the spot, but.
Oh, in a heartbeat. Are you kidding me? My goal is to sell my listings. and
Right.
be, you know, team players. So it's perfect match. Help me sell
Cool.
that house, Juan. Let's do it.
Yeah, I know. Cool. I
I'll
mean,
help you.
it's just, getting ideas because yes, I'm hitting some people. We'll see how real this is. I have somebody who claims they're looking for $1.5 million home, but until I see the money that they can really
Well, you
do
got to
it.
get them up 700,000, but that's not much. What the heck?
It's okay. It's
Once you're
okay.
doing 1.5,
2.5.
what's 700,000 more? Really
Yeah,
just
what's
throw it in.
another 700,000? If
They
he
can
can do
get,
1.5, he can do 700,000.
that's correct. That's
And then
right.
we'll negotiate it down to another just 500,000, right?
So here's the thing though, is I don't want you guys to be nervous by this. Think of the efficiency you could have in your business if you didn't have to do all of that driving and know every market and research every HOA if you had a couple key people. And I really feel like our productivity coaching department, it's really evolved and it was garbage before what it is now. And I'm going to say that. And I know that's harsh to say, but it is so beautiful now what Michelle Moreno has put together. And we're actually going to be providing leads to this group, but they're empowered to be really great at showing first before they feel like they have to know everything. And as you know, you get better and better as the deals you go on. And yet your first couple of deals you're almost kind of afraid that you're going to just mess up. Well, you don't have to master all when you've got productivity coaching and you've got people behind you to support you. And yet just think of how much time, just think of the last headache buyer you had. Just everyone has one. Just think for a moment. In the last year, who's been kind of a pain in the keister? Okay, a couple people probably come to mind. And it's not, it's just the business. Well, what if the business changed to be more convenient for you? Think of it. And you had some of these specialists around you. So this is an idea for me to just put in your brain as the market of the moment, because I think this is the future of real estate. And we are in a really good spot for this because we have culture of supporting each other and helping each other. That's not unique in a sales environment. So our environment supports this. And we can help each other out in a lot of different ways. So I'm thinking of on the roster, kind of ditching how we have our roster because it's really kind of messy to look at, but having a line where it might put like the key areas someone would be comfortable showing property for as a showing assistant, and let people identify, like say, I would, so we know who it is and you don't have to go hunt them down and make some sort of qualification that, yep, if you ask this person, they're really ready to go. They know how to use their Supra. They know what to do to a base standard. So you wouldn't say like, oh, you just got your license Friday and you don't even know how to use their super key, because that's not helpful. You need someone that knows enough to be great at this. And yet that's one of the first things you get great at in real estate. So if you guys think this is a good idea, I think we just kind of poke at it a little and maybe put that together so that you guys can expand your bandwidth. And then if we made a universal roster between all three offices, you guys could be able to sort that by who. Because again, if someone is Pinellas Park, that agent might be in the Gulf Side office more so than the Clearwater office, and I think this is really something that's going to be happening. I really do. And I think we're in a good spot for it. And I feel like we are a great beta tester of this idea because our office is as big as most, you could put 40 small brokerages together and we're still bigger than them. So I think we're a good beta tester for this. Now, if we roll in showing time, that's something I'm looking into for the office. If I can make that affordable for you guys, that'd be another element of it to make it easy. In Madison, I did that. In Milwaukee and Green Bay, I did it for all the offices because we got known as the office to call first to set up showings, because there was one number and any one of the agents in any one of my offices, you could sit on the phone and just set up all those showings for all those KW listings right away. And so our properties just got showed easier, faster, and more often because they knew it wasn't like some mom and pop shop that they hope someone called them back or even responded. It was like the easy button to set up your showings. And I think that was a super advantage for us. Now in this market, it's hard to call any of that advantage because everything's selling so fast. But let's just imagine being in a more normal market when all those things are really a win for us. So think of it, and these are the things I'm brewing in my brain to put in place for you guys to make life easier for you. But don't be nervous about it. Just think of it from the consumer's perspective, and then think about it from your time perspective. This could be a huge game changer for you guys if you kind of embrace some of these concepts that I feel are kind of inevitable, because again, it's the consumer's market. It's not our choice, is it? It's really where things are headed.
So Jessica, you said $15 per showing, because I've got somebody who wants to look at something in Tampa and I don't feel like driving all the way over there.
Yeah, call Michelle Moreno and find out who would be great, because she could give you a reference. Oh, or you got Juan. Well, Juan, you're already in the doghouse. You gotta get out of it. Juan can be that guy. Anyway, you can figure out who it is you want. And like I said, I would do that for under 10 showings, but after that, the money doesn't make sense for either people. Then write them into the deal, and typically you write them in the deal for about 10%.
Okay.
That's fair. Now, if you're asking someone to show property all day for you and they've got a human in their car and they're going from Riverview to Spring Hill, that doesn't work. So keep that in mind.
Okay. Gotcha. Thanks.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry I went 3 minutes over, but I hope I started your week in a powerful way. Love you guys. Go Rays. We got to get them to win. Yes. Go Rays.
Good day, Jess.
See you guys.
All right. Take care.